Biggest rap beefs of 2020. Too rich for regular. Which rappers are throwing shade at each other? Which performers are taking cheap shots? Rappers are known for their short temper and savage clapbacks, so who's stirring the pot this year? What are the biggest rap beefs of 2020? This is Too Rich for Regular, from rap to the streets and everything in between. But before we get started, if you're here for the first time, make sure you hit that subscribe button below and join Too Rich for Regular. We're uploading all the time, so don't miss out. We've saved the most exciting content for the ending, so stick around. This is Biggest Rap Beefs of 2020. French Montana and Young Thug. The beef between French Montana and Young Thug is comical to say the least. The feud kicked off when the confident French Montana was interviewed on Complex News. In the interview, they talk about how French battled Tory Lanez via Instagram. French was then asked if he thinks there's someone better for him to battle than Tory Lanez, and if so, who would that person be? Now, humble is not a word you'd use to describe French Montana, and he undoubtedly had no idea of the controversy that would ensue from his reply. In answer to the question, French goes on to say, "Honestly, I could go against anybody. You could put somebody like Kendrick Lamar next to me on the same stage at a festival. I might outshine him, not because I'm a better rapper or whatever it is, it's just that I got more hits. Kendrick Lamar got albums, he got masterpieces, but if you were to put us on the festival stage, I would outshine him because I have more hits than Kendrick Lamar." Unsurprisingly, we can confirm that the self-assured rapper does not in any way have more hits than Kendrick Lamar. And after the interview, fans unleashed on French, resulting in a series of hilariously savage memes and videos ridiculing French and his outlandishly bold statement. However, French Montana decided to double down on his claim, and in a series of tweets, French reiterates that he could go neck and neck with Kendrick, hit for hit. He then admits that he loves Lamar and clarifies that he could beat not only Kendrick Lamar, but anyone else that's put in front of him on a stage. Ironically, at this point, Kendrick Lamar still hadn't even acknowledged any of this happening, which adds to the absurdity of what happens next. As word got around, Young Thug got himself all dressed up in his knight armor, coming to the rescue in defense of Kendrick Lamar in an Instagram story directed at French, calling him a stupid ass and a fool for claiming he has more hits than Kendrick Lamar. And so began the all-out ping-pong social media war between French Montana and Young Thug, taking shots at each other, and the best part is all of this is happening without a single response from Kendrick Lamar in sight. Fans grabbed their popcorn as French hit back. In an effort to discredit and shame Young Thug, he posts a picture of a man in a dress who claims is Young Thug, thanking him for wearing a dress in his No Stylist video. Thug fires back and claims that French has a fake Bugatti and cheesy-ass jewelry, eventually threatening to call MEEK who was supposedly knocked out French so MEEK can send him the video of Montana allegedly being knocked out. Curiously, French counters Thug's claim with an offer, clearly denying that the fight even occurred because he then offers Thug $1 million to release the alleged footage of him being beaten up. The dust eventually settled, and French Montana has since come out to say that he doesn't have any beef with Thug. To this day, there hasn't been a single peep from Kendrick Lamar regarding this feud or French's claims. As for the alleged knockout footage, well, it's not been released, and Young Thug, sadly, is not $1 million richer for it. Young Chop, 21 Savage, and MEEK. Young Chop seems to be on a warpath this year. Out of nowhere, he started to publicly diss 21 Savage and MEEK, along with a string of other rappers. The timeline of events is far from straightforward, but this particular beef allegedly came about when MEEK, 21 Savage, and Young Chop were in the studio together. Chop made it known to them that he was armed in the studio. Naturally, MEEK and 21 were shaken up by the revelation, and according to Chop, 21 was so scared he decided to leave the studio shortly after. Later, Young Chop had an Instagram live chat with Gilly the King, where he recounted the events that took place, claiming that MEEK and Savage were scared, and he claims that they had Bentley trucks outside and just ran off. The following day, MEEK responded to Chop's Instagram live comments, and surprisingly, he opted to wish him well instead of lashing out. He says, "It's obvious Chop's having some mental issues. I've been getting beats from him for years, so I hope he gets well." Obviously not inspiring the response that Chop was after, he decided to ramp up his attack on MEEK, sharing a video of an unknown comedian roasting him. Determined to stir the pot even further, Chop posts a tweet implying that he'd slept with MEEK's girlfriend and that's why MEEK's mad. 21 Savage hadn't escaped Chop's wrath either, taking swipes at 21 Savage for never wearing any jewelry, claiming that his diamonds are fake or he doesn't own any to begin with. In a seriously disturbing turn of events, Chop went out searching for 21 Savage on the evening of April 6th. He took an Uber, directing the Uber to an apartment complex. Young Chop briefly got out of the car and got into an argument with another man. During the argument, Chop flaunted the piece he was carrying. Chop eventually got back in the Uber and they were fired at as they drove away. The car was hit at least 4 times, but no one was hurt. The shooters sped off after the incident, and Chop instructed the Uber driver to chase after them. But the driver thought better of it, refusing Chop's request, instead driving him home. Chop instructed the driver not to call the police and offered to pay for the damages to the car. 21 didn't seem too bothered by all of this because he clearly believes Chop is mentally unwell at the moment, and in an Instagram story, he posts a picture of Chop encouraging people to buy Chop's latest album when it's released, because he needs the clout. 21 Savage is obviously concerned for Chop and his mental instability, so he went live on Instagram to share some touching words, asking everyone to pray for Chop, because he's having a mental breakdown for real. 21 urges people to uplift others when they start acting crazy, and show them that they are loved. He clarifies, "I don't love him, but I'm sure that some of you love him." The crazy doesn't stop there. Chop's neighbors have made complaints about him, stating that they've heard shots on several occasions. Chop, with all his foresight, releases a video of himself on Instagram shooting at intruders from his front porch. The Instagram video led to young Chop being arrested on April 7th on a reckless conduct charge along with 3 driving citations, according to another incident report. He told the arresting officers that he fired a warning shot because some vehicles were trying to come up his driveway. On April 10th, determined to prolong his many feuds, he dropped a track titled, "You Know What We Do." In the Instagram upload announcing the record, the producer noted that it's a diss track directed towards Drake, French Montana, 21 Savage, and MEEK Mill. In an interesting turn of events, young Chop's one-sided feud with almost the entire rap community resulted in many of the rappers that he had dissed opting to take the high road. Instead of returning fire, they urged young Chop to seek help for his mental health due to his uncharacteristically deranged behavior. NBA Youngboy and KODAK Black. NBA Youngboy and KODAK Black's friendship is a distant memory. Even though they collaborated in a few tracks together, over time their friendship deteriorated. In April of this year, the tension was sparked, igniting a feud between the two rappers. NBA Youngboy is known for spreading his seed. It seems that being a ladies' man comes with its challenges. At the ripe old age of 20, NBA Youngboy to date has a total of 7 children with 5 baby mamas. This is, without a doubt, a recipe for disaster. On April 4th, Youngboy's on and off again girlfriend cum fiancé Yaya Mayweather turned up to his house and found Youngboy with LaPatra Jacobs, one of Youngboy's many baby mamas. Yaya demanded Jacobs to leave, saying that she is Youngboy's fiancé and doesn't like her hanging out with her husband-to-be. When Jacobs refused to leave, things escalated. The argument led to the kitchen where Mayweather attacked Jacobs. Jacobs was hospitalized, requiring surgery after suffering injuries to her arms. Yaya was arrested for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, a felony that can carry a heavy sentence of up to 99 years in prison. Since the incident, NBA Youngboy reportedly has been cooperative in allowing the police to conduct a full investigation. It's well known in the rap game that the last thing you want is to be seen cooperating with the police. Behavior like this can lead to being called out and labeled a snitch. Even though KODAK Black is currently behind bars on multiple felony charges, he manages to keep up to date with current events as they happen. KODAK was enraged when he found out and blasted Youngboy via social media, basically calling Youngboy a snitch for fully cooperating with the police. After hearing of KODAK's swings at him, Youngboy went live on Instagram to address KODAK's cooperating comments, basically saying he doesn't have any time for KODAK's claims, especially considering KODAK is throwing shade from a jail cell. Youngboy was clearly confused as to why KODAK even cares, let alone why he decided to chime in and accuse him of being a snitch. From then, KODAK and Youngboy berated each other publicly via social media, exchanging heavy insults back and forth. On April 24th, it seems KODAK Black had the last laugh in this feud. Jackboy, loyal friend and affiliate of KODAK's Sniper Gang apparel, announced the launch of the Sniper Gang's new essential product. They released their own line of toilet paper, with NBA written on each square as part of their Corona kit. We think KODAK and Jackboy definitely deserve creative points for this innovative diss. You made it to the end. Thanks for stopping by. We hope you've enjoyed today's video. Did you learn something new? Did we leave something out? Let us know. If you've enjoyed this video, please give us a like, subscribe, or both. Let us know in the comments if there's any other crazy topics we can cover in future videos. This has been the biggest rap beefs of 2020, and you're watching Too Rich for Regular. See you next time.